Hi, welcome back to another Walk with Charlie. So I think hairstylists should be considered an essential service by this point. My hair is getting a bit long, and when it gets long, it turns into Epstein. And I mean, welcome back, Cotter Epstein, not the Clintons who didn't kill, you know, the Epstein I'm talking about, not him. So fortunately, I have a collection of really sweet baseball caps that you're going to start seeing. So we'll keep updating that way. I'm sure we're all having our own challenges as we go through this experience, which I told you was going to last for a while, right? We did talk about that. So we knew this was going to last for a bit. What I wanted to talk to you about today came from an article I did with Dr. Joe Coughlin, who is the head of the Age Lab at MIT. And Dr. Joe is considered the world's leading authority on aging and longevity. And he interviewed me for an article in Forbes magazine. And in the conversation, I mentioned that this whole pandemic experience that we're all going through is really like a fire drill for retirement. And I like that idea so much, that's actually what he called the article. And then he repaid the favor, and he and I did an interview. He let me interview him, and I'll put a link up there someplace to the interview you can watch with Dr. Joe, and his thoughts on how people will spend really the last 8,000 days of their lives in retirement. Because most of us, this is the fire drill, right? And there's a lot of parallels to how we're going to spend those days when we're not working. So you're probably not really going anywhere because you can't. You're probably a little worried about money, which most people in retirement are. And you're starting to discover that maybe the stuff I was going to spend my time doing isn't what I want to spend my time doing, right? I'm only so many books to read or hobbies to take. And some of the things you may have thought you can do, you can't do. Like maybe you said, I'll just golf in my retirement. That's a popular one we hear. Well, you only golf so much, and right now you can't golf at all. So think about if you plan to golf 3-4 days a week or travel around the world golfing. Well, can't really do that right now. And what if you had in retirement some kind of medical condition that limited your mobility and you couldn't golf? What else are you going to do? So this is a really interesting point in time to reflect on what are the activities that are really going to consume my time, because some of the stuff I thought I was interested in, I'm not really interested in. I also want you to think about what some of the things are that you're not spending on anymore. Uh-oh, got a big dog coming. Some of the things that you may have been spending, you're not spending on, right? We've got a lot less discretionary expenses than we had when everybody was working and things were kind of normal. So thinking about our cash flows and what we were going to spend on is certainly a lot different today than it would have been a while ago. So, oh, Charlie's got a friend, a little visit here. There you go, Charlie, Coco. They're neighbors, so they get along just fine. All right, Charlie, we've got to keep this ball rolling here. Fortunately, there's a great chain on that big dog. Anyway, so a lot of the things that you may have been thinking about doing or spending, those things have all changed. And I would say that for the vast majority of people who were ever interested in creating a retirement plan, whatever you thought you were going to do, whatever your inputs were, whatever your assumptions were, most of those have changed. And in an upcoming video, I'm going to give you some workflow or a bit of a track to run on to rethink how to explore what you were going to do. And I'm going to give you a bit of a framework for that. But today, I want you to kind of go, maybe there's some stuff that I might want to do differently. The other thing I want you to think about, and people take this as an assumption in every retirement plan I've ever done in almost 30 years, and it's like this blind spot that we have. And we don't think about this, but I want you to think about this because it matters a lot right now. And I would usually probe people on this one, which is there's this implicit assumption that whatever it is you tell me you want to do, I want to travel. Well, maybe not travel so much now, but I want to travel. I want to golf. I want to play tennis. I want to play mahjong. Whatever the thing is, you're automatically assuming that the people you do them with, you're going to keep doing them with. Well, is that really true? Because I would suggest that for many of us, we're coming to realize how important our relationships with our friends and the people we love really are. And right now, you're probably missing a few people like crazy. And yeah, you can have a Zoom call, you can do a FaceTime, but it's not really the same. So the people think about the first group of people you want to see as soon as we're able to be within one hockey stick of each other. Those are the people that you're going to want in your life going forward. I'd also venture to guess that there's probably some people that, don't really miss them, right? Not really important. So you're going to have to refresh in your retirement plan, not just the math we can do. It's what are the assumptions for what was I going to do and who was I going to spend my time with. The other thing I want you to think about, and I'm going to come to the future for you here on this one, is the people that you've decided that are going to be in your life for the duration, the ones you're missing the most right now, the ones you're saying, no, these are the people that are really in it with me till the end. Are they thinking the same thing you're thinking? Are they planning the way that you're planning? Because I'm going to share with you, because we've already had this happen with a few clients over the years, is that if your friends, if the people you love, if they're not planning the way you're planning, you have three options when you discover a little too late that they don't have as much money to play with you. The first one is, and actually some of them now may not be able to play with you anyway because they've been financially affected. But what's going to happen if you don't suddenly learn, as subtly as you can, what your friends and the loved ones you're doing are preparing, you're going to discover one of three options. Either you can pay for them to play with you, which, okay, you can pay for a round of golf, you can pay for dinner. Let's say you ever take a cruise again, you can pay for a cruise. All these are possible, but they're not a lot of fun, and it gets old real fast. Yes, you can build an entourage, but if you ain't Jay-Z, you're probably not going to want to do that. And a lot of people don't want to be charity cases. So it's an option, but it's not a great one. Here's the next option. You can stop telling them what you're doing, right? We have some clients that do that. They've got friends, and they don't really tell their friends all the stuff they do. They don't tell them all the stuff they buy. They don't tell them all the places they go, because it just gets weird. So that's another problem. The third option is get new friends, which we see people do, right? That's why people join golf clubs and curling clubs and other clubs, to try and be around people that are now in their economic reality. They're in their economic snack bracket. Because maybe the people you met in high school, they just can't play with you anymore. And it's not that you don't love them, it's not that they're not good people, it's just you want to be around people that can do the things you want to do. So one of the reasons I mention this is that now might be the time when you're doing the FaceTime, when you're connecting with people, is figure out a way to have that dialogue. So I'll give you a tip on how to do it. So when you talk to those friends and you say, listen, I've missed you like crazy, I can't wait to see you again. One of the things I want to talk about is I've decided that I care about you so much, I want this relationship all through retirement. There's going to be so much cool stuff we do. Obviously we'll see what it is, but there's some really cool fun stuff that I want to do with you. But here's the thing, are you planning like I'm planning? Because you know what, maybe the economics of this whole pandemic have been tricky for you, just like they've been for me. What are you doing? Let's make sure they get the help that they need, the coaching, the advice, the guidance, just to check in with them. So don't just check in and make sure they got enough toilet paper. Don't just check in and make sure that, oh, the kids are okay. Actually say, like, financially, are you all right? We talked a while ago about hitchhikers, right? Remember that? Well, it's not so much that I want you to pick up a hitchhiker. I just think you want to share with people that you're painting them in your picture for the future, and you want to be sure that you're in theirs too. And all of you are going to be able to get along. So I think that's important, because relationships, I think through all of this, the one, as I told you earlier, find the silver linings, find the good stuff. And one of them is the people that you care about, I think we're all going to hold them a little closer when this is all over. Or at least we should, right? So let's hang on to that thought. So there you go, that's it for today. Charlie and I are going to keep moseying along. I think in an upcoming video I'll give you some, as I said, some workflow or a bit of an idea, a track to run on for how to really rethink your retirement plan, because we've got some good stuff. So I'll share that with you. And always remember, it could be worse. Your name could be Carol Baskin. Think about how she's doing through all this, eh? All right, thanks very much. Have a great day. See you later. Don't worry, Charlie. I won't let Carol Baskin get you. It wasn't called Doggy King. You're okay.